Okay, so the second kind of steam I'm going to show you is this kind of cartoony steam. We'll do kind of quickly. If we take a look on the inside, this is the vessel, but inside this symbol we have a little animation of smoke happening, or steam, and it dissipating. So let's create that. So we'll create a new file. Make sure you're changing it. 720 by 480. And make sure that it's 24 frames per second. Okay, so we'll start out with some smoke, some cartoony smoke. You want to try to have small interspersed with larger sections of smoke as you go. You don't want to have all even, that's not really all even, but and try to create an odd number of loops. Okay, I'm going to use the onion skinning as a light table. I'm going to hit F7 to create a new keyframe and make this into a bigger puff of smoke. Then we'll make it even bigger. And maybe there's a couple stragglers. And then we're going to start dissipating a little bit. So usually smoke will start to dissipate from the inside. It'll spread out a little bit. And these smaller ones will just start to get smaller, fade off. Whoops, and I'll move this back. That wasn't supposed to be a blank frame there, so I'll have another blank frame. I just want to see my last frame. Now, this is going to start to really move out. These will get smaller, this one gone. And these are going to break off into their own little subsections. As well as move out. So maybe we'll move this one out a little bit more as it dissipates. And it gets smaller. And then these will start to get smaller as well, and maybe they'll break off into a couple pieces. Until eventually we have nothing. That's pretty small. Alright, I'll put a blank frame there, and maybe some additional blank frames depending on how often you want the smoke to come out. So right now we have it on a 13 frame cycle. So let's save this. Save the steam. I want to put this all within a symbol. So make a new layer, make a mark, steam all, and select all of these frames. Control-Alt-C, and we'll edit this symbol in place by double-clicking. Control-Alt-V to paste in place. We'll go back up to C1 and delete our first layer here. Now we can move this wherever we want, and all the smoke will go where we want it to go. Okay. So if we extend the timeline out using F5, we'll have a cycle of smoke that'll keep coming out. Now, we can get fancy. We can color the smoke in. We can use, let's not do that. Let's use paint behind. And leave those gaps. These are kind of big. But we're going to make this kind of see-through, so I think sometimes those are okay. And finally, do that. There we go. Okay. Now that we have it all colored in, the other thing we can do is select this, go into properties, and make it all see-through. Probably, 50% is good. There we have it. We got smoke. Now, let's do. I want to do this kind of chugging effect that's that we see over here. We can take our steam. Let's make a vessel for it to come out of. There we go. We'll turn that into a symbol because we'll do a little bit of animation with that. Call it test tube. Oops. It's okay. Test tub. Now, to do the little animation, we want to, first of all, change the center. If I was to stretch this, it's going to stretch everything from the center, but I want it to stretch up as if it's attached to a table or platform somewhere here, so that the bottom part's not going to move. So we need to use the transform tool, go in, select the center, and move it to the bottom. Now we can make it pop up. I'll let it go up maybe, well, it's up to you. See how fast you want it to move. We'll duplicate it, F6, we'll create a new, duplicate the keyframe. We'll make it go up, and any time that you're stretching something, you also have to squash it so that it's going to maintain its mass. Alright, and its volume. So we have it going up, going back down, and we'll want it to squish a little bit as well. And anytime you're going to squish it, you got to stretch it. Have it going down, and in between here, let's not have it be as let's maybe have it go down a little bit quicker than it goes up. So this one is the test tube. This is the steam. going to select both of those keyframes and create a classic tween. Let's just not look at the steam for a second here. So now we have it chugging up. It's playing a little bit slow here, so you could test it just to make sure it's playing at the right rate. This will be fine. If you want it to be slower, you'll separate the keyframes. If you want it to be faster, you'll put the keyframes closer together. Now, the additional thing that I want to do here is when the steam comes up, you can see this isn't lined up really correctly here, so we'll move it up. That's not too bad. We could add a little additional move in here where maybe the steam rises up a little bit. Then we'll add a classic tween there. There we go. Now we want this to keep repeating. Select it. And probably wait till that dissipates. There we go. Select this again. Now, what I really want to do is try to keep this clear of keyframes that don't really belong. Sometimes Flash will create these additional keyframes that are unnecessary, so you want to try to keep it neat and not be like, what are those keyframes there for? It'll just add them in when you're copying keyframes. So we'll copy these, wait until it dissipates again, paste them. I can simply move these out of the way. I'll paste right over top of them. And there you have it. Steam. And you'll just need to do this for as long as your pan.